Happy Thursday, YouTube. Well, it's the last day of 2020. And for a lot of you guys out there, you guys are working on your New Year's resolutions, right? Whether it's health, business, whatever it is, all of us, we're preparing for 2021. But, as I get here to celebrate, New Year's with, my close family and friends and significant other, I really think about one thing this year, and that's gratitude, building relationships. And for Telecom, 2020 was a breakthrough year, no question. I mean, I've always been pushing it, for the last 5 years. But we've never, invested any kind of money into marketing or anything like that, man. Everything we've done has been through word of mouth relationships, and that's crazy. I mean, 2019, that year, we did over $5 million in sales, helping agencies and groups, with their lead supply. But 2020 was a whole different year for us. I know that I went into 2020 with the thought process that I would hire 100 plus agents directly to my agency, and we do 50 million bucks in that year. We didn't do that. The coronavirus kicked in, and it took our business in a whole different direction. Providing leads, providing training systems to establish agencies, from maybe 5 people to thousands. And that's what we did in 2020 because of the coronavirus pandemic. But in the process, a lot of what we did it in good faith, giving value, free value to agency owners, showing them how to do it. For myself, I've been on the phones 10 years, selling insurance, burial insurance, and I'm probably one of the few guys out there that can say that when I started 10 years ago, my cost per acquisition was around $500 a day, and today it's under 100. And I'm proud to say that, because if you understood what it took us to go from $500 investment a day to under 100, you would really be pleased. That's a fact. And that's one of the reasons why we're growing. When the pandemic hit, you saw a lot of the gurus come out of the woodwork. My goodness, I never knew there was that many telephone experts out there. They came out of the woodwork. When they came out of the woodwork, the number one piece of advice they gave people was buy as many leads as you can. Training doesn't matter. Buy leads in order to save yourself. That was the worst piece of advice they could have done, because training does matter. Knowing how to sell, knowing how to close does matter. You can't mitigate by just buying leads. That's a very expensive way to do this business. You got to know how to sell and how to close. And we sat back and let everybody do that. Ask yourself, how many of those agents out there that bought into the massive lead purchase up front are still here today? They didn't make it. Most of them didn't make it. In fact, all of them didn't make it. And the people that were making those recommendations, they're not even in the business right now. Which takes me back to this. When we started on the phones, every single carrier scrutinized us, from non-taken ratios to persistency to the amount of applications we can send them, because telesales was definitely always looked down upon. In fact, a year ago, I was talking to a carrier, right? And I was asking if I could send them 200 or 300 apps a week. Think about that. For most field guys that are running a group, they're thinking, man, this guy's crazy. What kind of an insurance company would turn down application count? Well, when you're on the telephone, it happens because they were scared. They were nervous. But that was a silver lining for us, because over these last 10 years, we had to prove ourselves, overprove ourselves, get scrutinized by the carrier, complaint after complaint. But in the process, what we call hard love, we delivered what the carrier wants, not what the IMO wants. The IMO wants a bunch of sales. The carrier wants something different. You know what the carriers want? They want good persistency. They want low non-taken ratios. The sales are nice, but if the damn business don't stay on the books, the carriers could care less, because most carriers are in the hole for the first 2 years. So for the first 2 years of their investment, they're out of the hole. They don't see the commissions you do, that I do. They're making an investment in the long-term profitability of that policy. And if you as a telephone guy can't deliver quality, they could care less. In fact, many years ago, I found myself out hunting with my friends out in South Georgia. And they had a massive reinsurer, Swiss Re. For those of you guys that know who Swiss Re is, they're massive. And I was out there hunting with the VP, the vice president of North America for Swiss Re. And the number one thing he told me was the following. He says, Laurel, he says, the way we value a company from a reinsurance standpoint is by their sales team, retention, how they sell the product. It gives a ton of valuation to that company. And at the time, I'm happy to say, I was number one at this carrier. They told me, you know what? And the products that you sell, the way you sell it, is why we're out here hunting here today. So, guys, quality over quantity. We have a training system that's based on all factors, including quantity, but we can never get away from the quality of business, especially in our industry, insurance. Remember, the carriers, they don't make a profit until 2 or 3 years later. So I see a bunch of agents out there that hate carriers. They talk garbage about them, but you know what? We need them. They're our partners. They pay those claims. So with that said, as we go into 2020, let's work on building our relationships. Let's work on collaborating. And if I can help you and your group in any way, shape, or form, give me that opportunity. Whether you need top-level contracts. Look, I don't say this to brag. We're direct with the carriers. We can hook you up. Not just with the carrier relationship, but also with the bonuses that come on the distribution side. And a lot of you guys in the agency business, you guys get zero on the bonus. There's major money on there. We'll break bread with you on that. If you need leads, not only will we provide you with leads, but we'll give you a discount. But more importantly, we have the system and the training. So if you have one agent, you got 1,000 agents, give us an opportunity. You'll be more than happy to see what happens. So with that said, you guys be safe. And as I always say, if you drink, do not drive. I'm telling you, the police is out there. They're doing their job. We love them. And we do not want to get in trouble. So you guys enjoy it, and see you guys at the top. Peace.